Born into a fractured kingdom, Charles Martel's rise was forged in the fires of family strife. His destiny was not to inherit a throne, but to build one stronger than ever before. Charles Martel to his father, "Father, the kingdom may crumble, but I will stand tall." With his father's death, the kingdom faltered, but Charles, undeterred, rallied his people to his banner, forging an empire from the ashes of his family's legacy. Charles Martel faced the greatest challenge of his life, an unstoppable force marching towards Europe. The Muslims were pushing westward, and Europe's future rested on one man's shoulders, Charles Martel. "I will not allow my kingdom to fall. I will rise and I will stand tall. The hammer of the Franks will strike, and the enemy will know its might." At Tours, Charles Martel faced the might of the Umayyad Caliphate, an army poised to sweep across Europe. The battle would decide the fate of Christendom itself. But Martel was no ordinary ruler. He was the hammer. The battlefield was chaos, horse and sword clashing, shields splintering. But Martel was not just a soldier. He was a commander, his mind always 3 steps ahead. His troops held firm as the enemy's momentum faltered. Martel's forces held fast, and the tide turned. The hammer of the Franks struck true, and the Muslim forces were thrown into disarray. The battle was won, and Europe had been saved for now. Charles Martel had saved Europe, but at what cost? His victory at Tours would be remembered for centuries. But the price of that victory was not just in blood, it was in the burden of ruling an empire born from war. Martel's victory at Tours solidified his place in history. He had not just defended his kingdom, he had built it. His sons would continue his legacy, and the Carolingian dynasty would rise from the ashes of war. The Martel's kingdom was now secure. The shadows of war still haunted him. He had saved Europe, but the empire he built was one of iron, and it would not last without constant vigilance. Charles Martel. "I struck with fury, but I built with steel. The kingdom of Francia, I forged it real. Though the hammer strikes and the anvil sings, the kingdom shall stand through the darkest things." Charles Martel, the Lion of France, rose from the shadows of history to become one of the greatest warriors and rulers Europe had ever known. His legacy would echo through the ages, for he had built an empire that stood the test of time.